I know two girls that I just adore.
Welcome to ASP Stuff Radio, the internet radio show that makes you think about stuff. Deep, philosophical mind stuff, like whether we're living in a simulated universe, or whether umpires should be replaced by robots, like C-3PO and R2-D2. Today is Saturday, April 30th. Joining me today is Pauledo, a robotic simulation of a simulation of a simulation of a simulation of a simulation. Pauledo.
Yeah, essentially I'm not real.
You're not real. You're just a figment of a computer programmer's imagination.
Yeah, some higher being created me multiple times. So this is the output.
So what's it like being simulated?
I don't know because I'm not aware that I am simulated.
You don't know that you're simulated.
No. And I shouldn't even care about that according to Bill Nye.
Yeah. Bill Nye is high. Bill High. Let's just call him Bill High.
Has your opinion of Bill Nye gone down?
Completely.
He was so cool.
He was back in the day. I thought he was awesome. He had that science
that bow tie.
Yeah, the bow tie. And is it true? Is it true? We're going to go right into politics. Is it true that people who wear bow ties are Republicans? Seems like
I don't know.
Seems like Republicans always have these bow ties. Wearing
Probably.
Bow ties.
I think the older you get, the more likely you are to wear a bow tie, and a lot of Republicans are older.
Yeah. When your views become very constricted and you want to be more constrained in your neck area where you don't want to be breathing.
It cinches up the neck.
Yeah.
It locks things into your brain so that you can't change your mind.
Now there's an interesting question. Is it the bow tie that causes you to be more restricted in your thinking, which makes you want to become a Republican? Or is it becoming a Republican which encourages you to wear bow ties?
It's probably you have to become Republican first, and then you put the bow tie on to cinch up your thoughts so you don't change your mind.
All right.
So I think that's how it works. But then again, there's a lot of, pretentious professors who wear bow ties at these prestigious universities.
That's true.
And a lot of them are liberal. So,
Good point.
It's not always. I think it's just a mechanism to lock in your ideas and never change your mind.
Yeah, and that's when you adjust your bow tie a little bit.
Because the necktie you can loosen up. You know, you have that little slider in the back. You can cinch it up if you want to be tight, or loosen it when you're kind of letting things go. After the night's gone on a little bit. Yeah.
What about people who don't wear neckties or bow ties, like me?
And then you're very flexible. Like you can change your mind easily. Yeah. You'll flip flop a lot.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
That could be good. It could be bad.
Yeah.
Obama probably wears a necktie.
Yeah, he's adjusting accordingly.
Adjusts a little bit.
Where's our Socrates Greek buddy?
Steve-ocrates?
He's gone.
I heard he's on assignment overseas. He's doing some international reporting.
Okay. In Europe, I think.
Some business propositions to hand out.
He's got a proposal to make on a business idea.
He's gonna make a presentation and see if it gets accepted.
That's right. Yeah, he did mention something about a proposal.
Very lucrative.
Yeah, a proposal on permanently strengthening the foundations of the Eiffel Tower or something about strengthening his bonds with.
Yeah, he used to do engineering stuff, so he's going to survey the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah,
make sure that its foundation is strong, secure the supports. They've been there for a long time, so it's about time.
It's about time that this engineer figures out a way to connect everlasting strengthening bonds.
Yeah. And hopefully there are no terrorist attacks.
Oh, hope Paris, gotta be careful.
Or France. Yeah.
Hopefully he has terrorist insurance.
Yeah, hopefully ISIS is on vacation right now.
Yeah. Taking a break.
Yeah. They have, paid time off.
Yeah. That's basically the reason. I'm sorry. Maybe. Okay.
There's a little DeGrasse chuckle there.
Oh, that's his laugh. Yeah, he has a strange high-pitched. It doesn't match his low baritone radio.
Yeah, he'll be like, "Oh, Paul, we're going to talk about simulated universes."
Just goes crazy. He's like that cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs bird.
I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So there's some. Do you want to get into the whole Prince thing? Are you a fan of Prince?
Yeah, well, I was going to ask you if there's any Prince memories or words that you want to say, because I was like 2 years old when he was at the height of his popularity.
Yeah, Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I just remember whenever I think of Prince and his music, I think of our cousins. Because Oscar, Frank, Fabiola, they were obsessed with Prince, and that's all they would play is the album Purple Rain. And every time I saw his music videos, I thought this is not for me. This is forbidden stuff. Like,
it looked strange. Like, you don't want to be associated with Prince. He's a little out there.
Yeah, and we were raised Catholic in that environment when we were young. It was just forbidden music. It's I don't know, risque.
Yeah, that's the word. Like, he didn't want to. Like, Michael Jackson was okay. He was a little more mainstream.
Thriller was cool. Bad.
Mm-hmm.
I could listen to that without feeling guilty. I might be condemned to suffer eternal damnation if I listen to a Prince song. So I appreciated his music when I got older, but when I was younger, I just.
Yeah, I never really listened to it. Like, I really don't even know what the album sounds like. And I've just heard people recently talk about it. And everyone's like, "Oh, he's one of the greatest guitarists of all time." I'm like, I didn't even know he played guitar.
Oh yeah. That's he's the icon of the guitar. But then again, there's some arguments against that. There's Jimi Hendrix and jazz musicians before, Charlie Christian. But
even to be mentioned up there,
yeah.
That's not really it's for someone who doesn't really know much about Prince. That's not what you associate him with. You think of like what you are talking about, the whole risque, kind of outside the box, not really someone that people wanted to say that they were a big fan of.
Yeah, I couldn't become a fan because when I grew up, it was just forbidding. It was, don't listen to Prince, you're gonna go to hell. This video, back then with the music videos, the videos were kind of rated R for us, for kids.
Yeah, but they were on. Apparently, I would listen to it in my crib.
Yeah, I think maybe
you reported. I don't know.
I had this vague memory that you were a Prince fan. We'd always joke around that you would dance to Prince.
Yeah, to this day, I still hear that.
Do you remember that? Yeah. Okay, so I wasn't just making that up. I was telling 9C, my droid, that you were a huge fan when you were a baby. You would just dance, shake your booty when you were a kid, when you were a baby.
I think that may have actually been on video. One of those tapes. It was probably one that was warped and gone away, but I think it was actually on video.
Erased from existence.
Yeah.
Tuck Brown.
Prince playing on MTV, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like a huge fan, but it's true, when you find out about his death, that a part of your childhood has died.
Yeah. I mean, we get older and like all these artists pass away. Michael Jackson a few years ago. Mm-hmm. David Bowie. What was that, earlier this year or last year?
Yeah, this year, earlier, I think.
And now Prince and many others.
And then when Woody Allen passes away, my life has no meaning. It's over. There's just no point in living anymore.
We'll still have Krause.
No, not the same. Well, there's Larry David to look forward to, and Louis C.K. Those are my next two obsessions.
But they're not directors.
Yeah, that's true.
They're comedians.
But
so who do you have left from the music side?
For me, it would probably be Depeche Mode.
They still
perform? They still perform. I saw them 2000,
like in their late 60s now.
The 50s, mid 50s. Yeah, getting there. I think around the age of Prince. He was 57.
Yeah, these guys are getting old.
Mm-hmm. And Madonna was one of those icons too.
What is she doing?
I have no clue. Making horrible music. I don't know how these great musicians had awesome hits, breaking down boundaries in the music industry, and then all of a sudden, this day and age, they make crappy music. I don't know how.
Well, I think when you get older, it's harder to muster up the same types of emotions that you had when you were younger.
Yeah,
your creativity is like it's not as great, and it's a little muffled.
Yeah, it's that bow tie that they're putting on.
Yeah, and so like with what's his name, Sting. Like everybody loved his music when he was younger, and now everyone says he's boring and dull.
Ouch!
Just doesn't come out. Yeah. That's what you hear on all these people talking about Sting. It's like his music just puts you to sleep now.
Wow, he had 100 great songs. He comes out with one bad album, and he's just a horrible musician.
Yep.
Just like that. Would you say the same thing about our films? That we were at a peak when we were younger, and then as we get older, just kind of
I think that has more to do with not really having the time to do,
that's true.
it. Yeah. I think if we focused on that, we could come out with even better stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Not enough time in this world.
No, but these artists, they have time.
Yeah, they have time to come out with better hits. Well, even
Depeche Mode.
Yeah, come out with a better album. But even with the younger, so if with that, okay, so it's true that when you're younger, you're more creative and you have new ideas that you want to share musically. But these young artists have crappy music.
Well, pop music. But to their generation, that's probably great music. People love Bruno Mars.
When you compare him to Michael Jackson when you compare early Michael Jackson in the 80s to Bruno Mars now.
See, that's the old fogey talking. Like we're looking at back in my day.
Really?
We had great music. What these kids listening to now, they don't know music.
Okay, so remind me if you can remember this when I go visit in some part of California. I'm going to play Michael Jackson's best hit in the 80s. I'll have to figure out which one that is. And then I'll play Bruno Mars' classic, quote unquote, hit of today in the contemporary world that we live in. I'll play it to our niece and I'll ask her, all right, listen to this song. Now listen to this song. Which one do you think is better? What moves you?
That might be a good test.
Yeah.
See what this coming generation, the future of our country, what they think is good music.
Yes.
But there also could be, diminishing returns. If you hear something that was good 30 years ago and something similar comes out now, it's just not going to be as good, even though it probably is at the same level. Right. You just think, well, we've heard that before.
Right, it's true. It's not as fresh as when it was 30 years ago.
So everyone's trying to come out with new sounds, but they're just not as good as what we had heard originally.
Mm-hmm.
The original is better than all this other stuff.
Yeah, and you notice that most, if not all, pop music consists of electronic synthesizers, drum machines. Back then, it was kind of a hybrid of different types of instruments. Electronic keyboards were being introduced in the 80s, accompanying real drums, guitars. Now it's all just electronic, and you modify your voice like with auto-tune, and it just kind of all sounds the same at some point.
Yeah, that's rampant. That's all that these sound editors, they're manipulating all these terrible voices to make them sound a certain way, and so what ends up happening is they all sound the same. It's just this modified metallic sounding voice.
It's not authentic.
People
it's
singing
not raw
through their nose.
It's not organic. We want organic voices.
And so it's refreshing when you hear people actually just sing naturally. Mm-hmm. But that's not the way recorded music is anymore.
Yeah. Now it's all just like this. Oh, there's some cymbals in there.
Yeah. Someone actually hit that cymbal.
A simulated robot?
Yeah.
Do you want to go into the music bot? Do you want to go into Prince's death? The whole controversy?
I haven't even heard what... I mean, we can talk about it for a couple minutes. Explain what that's about.
Well, so there's... how did he die? He was at such a young age. He was vibrant, creative, and healthy. I didn't even know he was a vegan. So there were reports that he was a vegan and he led a, quote, healthy lifestyle, whatever that means.
Well, now he is the greatest musician of all time. He's vegan.
Yeah, and I read a headline that the animal kingdom lost their prince.
What?
Because he donated a lot of money to PETA, the animal organization that supports animal rights and is against animal cruelty. So he donated a lot of money to that organization. So people are just flabbergasted about how he died. How could he have died so suddenly at a young age? And he was healthy and he didn't eat meat and so on and so forth. How can you make that conclusion if you don't really know his lifestyle completely? Right? That's like
sure.
You're a student of mine and I kept saying, oh, I'm a vegan or vegetarian and I'm healthy, and you only see me like twice a week for 4 months, and then all of a sudden I die and I'm dead. You would probably think, what happened? He died at a young age. He was healthy. He was vegetarian. He couldn't have committed suicide or did drugs or anything like that.
Maybe he was lying.
So nobody really knows.
Yeah.
But they discovered that he was addicted to painkillers, I guess. A drug.
It's always drugs.
It's always drugs. So it was a major disappointment for me because I believe the media. The media paints one story about, Prince, how could he have died? It wasn't a struggle. He wasn't killed, murdered. It wasn't suicide. He never did drugs. Now, of course, what do we mean by drugs? We think heroin and pot and crack and all that crap. Cocaine. But they were just painkillers. I guess he had this constant hip problem from all his performances and wearing high heels. And he was addicted to painkillers. One called, I think it's called Dilaudid or something. I don't know, Dilaudid, which is a highly addictive opioid. And then you do research.
Die if you take this? What's it called?
Die if you take this. Die you did.
Die you did.
Die you did do this. Die you did after you're taking opiates.
Ask a doctor before taking.
Yeah, you don't want to die of Dilaudid, dude. So opioids are substances that produce morphine-like effects, very similar to heroin. Ding! Mm-hmm. So although he wasn't using the raw drug heroin, he was indirectly pretty much doing heroin through painkillers.
Yeah, that's opioid abuse is a huge problem in the medical industry.
Yeah.
So the government tries to crack down on prescriptions of those, but they're not always successful.
Yeah.
People get addicted to those drugs because it is heroin pretty much.
Yeah. And I guess he was recently becoming addicted to Percocet. I think that's what it's called. Another type of, it's a more powerful painkiller. I mean, it contains I don't know how to pronounce it, acetaminophen, that's that active drug found in Tylenol.
Yeah.
Which according to our pathologist doctor dad, whenever I asked, hey, should I take a Tylenol? He said, no, only if it's absolutely necessary, because that is the number one killer. You get kidney or liver disease. If you take it exceed the amount that's required, and so
it's over the counter.
Yeah, so it's sad because this could have easily been prevented, but Prince died of medical drugs, painkillers,
popping pills.
Yeah,
that's the way that all these celebrities go.
Mm-hmm. But we'll find out
But that's what stimulates their creativity.
That's true.
You take the drugs so that you're a successful musician, artist, actor, comedian.
Yeah.
But then it brings about your death early.
Mm-hmm. And I guess I read somewhere else that the drug, he suffered from extreme stage fright. Like he just couldn't go on the stage without taking these painkillers or some kind of medication that would help calm him down, which again, he became addicted. And if he weren't on drugs, he was pretty much a quote, average, boring person. He was
Sting.
Yeah, he was Sting. There you go. Off drugs.
Yep.
Or, like Woody Allen when he's not acting.
Maybe that's the difference between Sting before and Sting now.
Sting now,
He used to take drugs and now he doesn't.
No. Yep. So he wasn't a healthy person. So you could be a vegan and still be addicted to drugs and not be healthy for other reasons.
No meat in the drugs.
Sports talk.
Is it time for sports?
I think it's time for sports.
Sports. We're going to talk about sports.
Oops, sorry. So there's some...
I like that organ.
I tried to do a baseball thing, but I gave up. That was when I was off painkillers, by the way. If I were on painkillers, I'd probably have a better, accurate baseball organ song.
Yeah, you'd be much better.
Yeah. We need an expert opinion. I don't know if...
I was listening to the last episode, and so yeah, there were some inaccuracies.
That was, well, let me just hold that thought. It was really hard to do that without you because I don't consider myself a sport expert, and I try to be one. And I don't know if Steven did a good job.
I mean, you guys eventually got Derek Law's name correct.
What did he say? John Law or
Joe Law?
Joe Law, yeah.
Which that sounds like a good name.
Yeah,
Joe Law.
Joe Law.
Don't mess with the law. But yeah, then I think you mentioned that Clayton Kershaw just threw up a changeup to Bumgarner.
I knew that was wrong. It was
really, yeah. He doesn't want to throw a fastball to him.
Yeah,
because that's what it's. So Bumgarner hit a home run against Kershaw last year.
Okay,
and it was a fastball. And so again, here comes this year. Throws him another fastball, and Bumgarner hits another home run off him.
Mm-hmm.
But what I can't remember is if Kershaw hit one off of Bumgarner.
Oh, that's what Steven said.
I think it may have been like 2 or 3 years ago. But I don't know if it was just against the Giants or if it was actually against Bumgarner. So you have to look that up.
You have to figure it out. Because if he did, then it's
some research.
There's this continuing face-off between the two.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like rivals who hate each other. They're actually, they get along. And like they were saying at the home game that they played or pitched against each other, Kershaw actually went across the field to personally talk to Bumgarner before the game.
All right. So they're a positive, competitive spirit.
Yeah,
enjoy each other's.
They're a couple fellow left-handers who respect each other.
Respectable pitching buddies. So there was a bit of a struggle with the Giants after, was it 2 weeks ago when we did the show? We talked about the Giants, the update so far, and then there was a bit of a struggle with the Dodgers, right? Were they swept by the Dodgers?
No, they lost 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3, okay.
That's what. Well, it was really starting against the Rockies.
Oh yeah, I remember.
That road trip. They lost 2 out of 3 there and had some typical Coors Field
kinks,
blowouts. Yeah. Which is, that's going to happen. It's playing. It's like playing. A lot of people say it's like playing in outer space.
It's a cursed stadium
Yeah, anybody who goes there, anything can happen. And you're typically going to give up a ton of runs. Mm-hmm. So you can throw those games out the window.
Yeah.
But then, they played the Dodgers tough. They just play like you guys were talking about. The Giants were not playing good defense.
Yeah.
And especially behind Bumgarner, they made very costly errors. I think Superman made an error, and then Joe Panic did too.
Yeah.
And that cost them that game. And then the other game, it was close, but they just couldn't hit.
Mm-hmm. Panic panicked, and Superman had kryptonite in his back pocket.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dodgers kryptonite.
Yeah.
You can't play that well against the Dodgers, I guess. But they rebounded this past week.
Yeah.
Until last night.
Oh, I didn't see the game.
So I won't spoil it for you, but you'll definitely see a record broken.
Oh no! I just finished the second inning, bottom.
Okay,
so
you're about to reach the inning that decides the game.
Oh man, better make sure. Okay.
Yeah, so they got swept by the Diamondbacks.
Oh, that's the game that I was really disappointed in. But the Diamondbacks played good baseball.
They did. I mean, that Monday night game, the first game of that homestand, the Giants should have won. They were up 6-2, and then they blew that lead, and then they blew the 1-run lead in the 9th inning.
Was that the Casilla?
Yep, Casilla gave up that 2-strike, 2-out home run.
Is that why they sent him out to go pitch some more balls? Train? Go work on your pitching, son.
Yeah, I mean, he recovered. He's had a couple good outings since then, but that was the main. Like, that game, if they had won, it would have made everything a lot better.
Yeah.
But the problem, like, to me, that's their biggest problem, is last year the Giants could not beat the Diamondbacks at home.
Okay.
I think they only beat the Diamondbacks like once or twice out of the 9 games at home.
Aye.
And that really cost them the season.
Yeah.
So if they can't fix that problem, if they can't beat the Diamondbacks at home, they're not going to make the playoffs. So that, to me, is the big, like, they need to turn that around.
Yeah.
They cannot lose the Diamondbacks at home. The Diamondbacks own AT&T Park right now.
Bold claims.
Mm-hmm.
Bold claims.
I think you guys mentioned that Goldschmidt was
he was injured within the first week or two, but I think he's recovered now. He's playing now.
Yeah, I mean, he was playing. I don't know when he got hurt, but he was playing that whole series against the Giants. The guy that got hurt, like, just before, like, the last game of spring training, I think it was, or second to last game, their center fielder, AJ Pollock, got hurt sliding into home in a meaningless spring training game. And he's out for pretty much the whole year. And he's like an all-star outfielder. So that's the guy that they're going to miss.
Yeah. That's their number one. And he's a good hitter too, right? He's
a good all-around player. Mm-hmm. But so that's what might prevent the Diamondbacks from having a good season. That, and Greinke probably won't be able to live up to his massive contract.
Oh, you think all that money is weighing him down consciously while he's on the mound? Each pitch is worth what? $35,000?
Yeah, I think it's something like that. So every time he throws a pitch, you can hear like money
ka-ching. Hitting the catcher's mitt. Ka-ching.
Yeah. Just cashing in
that cash.
That, and I mean, Arizona, their stadium it's similar to Coors Field, not nearly as bad, but
yeah, I don't like that.
It's not a pitcher's park.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that stadium.
It's like a air-conditioned, sterile environment.
It feels like a cave when you walk in. Cold, cavernous.
It plays like it's, I don't know, like it's like arena baseball.
Mm-hmm. So definitely the stadium has an influence. It's a character. It plays a role in determining how the game is going to play out.
Yeah, it's the unique thing about baseball that separates it from every other sport is the playing field is not the same wherever you go.
Yeah, which leads us to the umpires. So just as the stadium and the environment determines how a game can be played out, we also have umpires because they determine the outcome of each pitch, or whether it's a strike or a ball, and different umpires have different strike zones. That always bothered me. Why do different umpires have different strike zones? Isn't there one in the same strike zone? I don't get it.
So you're of the opinion that umpiring is a science.
Yes.
That it should be strict, according to the laws of physics and reality. Like there's one definition, right?
Yeah.
You're not of the thought that umpiring is like philosophy, that it's subjective, you can think, kind of have your own way of interpreting things.
Right. I would probably lean towards umpire. The role of an umpire should be approached as a Kraussian scientific approach, a methodical, objective means of establishing the truth.
There you go. Yeah. And then have clear-cut rules.
Yeah.
And enforce them.
Just like the rest of baseball, right? I mean, I'm trying to think of that it goes past the foul line, it's a foul. If it's within the lines or out, then it's not a foul. If it's too high, when the ball gets, was it chest high? What is it called? The knee high? Or no, you can have knee high strikes.
Above the knees and below or below the chest.
Yeah.
Textbook strike zone.
Yeah. So I just don't understand the whole concept of differing zones.
That's the beauty of the game, the human element, having that subjectivity affect the game. Like you don't know one day from the next what the strike zone is going to be, and so as a pitcher you have to adjust to that.
How do you think?
And the attitude of the umpire too.
What do you think pitchers are thinking though? Are they thinking, I really wish I had a robot?
I think some days they do, and then other days they're glad it's not a robot because they're getting these wide strike zones.
That's true. So there are pros and cons. Obviously, bad calls, objectively speaking, bad calls might end up being strikes, and therefore favorable for the pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. I actually have a 2-minute clip of 2 random news anchors talking about automated strike zone.
Okay.
He's been gung-ho on bringing baseball into the 21st century. But how about reimagining it with robots? I'm Adrienne Lawrence, joined by ESPN Sweet Spot blogger Dave Schoenfield, and we are talking about the possibility of getting robots in the game to minimize mistakes. Dave, robot umpires, what are we talking about here?
Well, this has been a heated debate the last couple of years, right? Baseball fans like you, like me, we want to get the calls right. Every single one of them, including every ball, every strike call. Right now, umpires miss about 10% of the ball and strike zones, according to the technology we have right now. Think back to last year's playoffs, a terrible strike called on Ben Revere in the Royals-Blue Jays game. He struck out on the next pitch. If the umpire gets that call right with the help of a robot umpire, maybe the Blue Jays come back and win that game and we have a different World Series champion. So if we have the technology to help the umpires, why not? Let's do it.
Well, baseball's a pretty traditional game, so I could assume there's a lot of debate going on. So why would this be such a highly topic, debate?
Yeah, well, the main issue is, do you want to remove the human element from the sport, right? The players, they like the umpires, even though they disagree with a lot of the calls. The managers, they still want the human umpires. Do we want to go full force all the way to the technology? And we got to make sure that technology is right. When we see those strike zone graphics during a broadcast, Jose Altuve, about 5'5", has the same strike zone graphic as Chris Bryant, who's a foot taller. So they don't really have the same strike zone. So we got to make sure that technology works for all sizes of players. And then we have to figure out how to relay the correct calls to maybe the human umpire standing behind home plate. So I don't think we're really going to see robots behind home plate, just the technology helping the human umpires.
Oh, well, I really like the idea of robots. But
it would be kind of fun, right?
It would be a lot of fun. But can you at least tell me, I guess, where is the technology right now?
Well, we're there. We have the technology that measures ball and strikes, and we can all look on our computers and see if the umpires missed the call, if it was a centimeter off the plate or right on the black. So for the most part, we're there. It's just fine-tuning what we have, and then the strike zone percentage goes from about 90% correct to 100% correct.
I like that. All right. This is Dave Schoenfield, ESPN Sweet Spot blogger.
So no Wally.
All
right. I want Wally to be the umpire, home plate umpire, making the calls.
Wally would be a good umpire.
Yeah.
He could even do the hand signals.
Strike!
Strike!
And the ball hits him in the head.
I don't think it would work that way. That they actually did a game, I think it was last year, a minor league game where they had a robot umpire. It was just, I think it was like, they just used some system and it called it according to what you see, those graphics.
Oh, those annoying boxes on the TV.
The box.
Yeah.
And you see that on the MLB at-bat app. They have it. They'll show you where the pitch is compared with the actual strike zone. Even if umpire calls it a ball and it's a strike, that app will show you that it's in the strike zone. So they did a whole game of just that system. And I don't know how it turned out, but it was this experiment, and it sounded like you can do a game like that.
So what they're thinking about doing maybe in the future is, so they'll still have the human element, the umpire, the human. Well, we don't know if he's really human. He could be a simulated creature of some kind.
Yeah, we're all
not real. Yeah, so it's irrelevant to even talk about fake robots, already robots. Anyways, so we're gonna keep the robot or the umpire, but he's gonna have like an iPad in his hand or whatever, some way to relay the message to him. Like, okay, if he calls a ball and then he looks at the machine, it says, it's a strike, you idiot. Right? So if he makes a bad call, then his hypothalamus gets an electric shock. Something like,
it forces his arm to go out and his voice to say, strike!
So right when he's about to say, ball is a strike! So is that what they want to do? I don't get it. I don't understand.
You could do it that way. Be entertaining.
Yeah.
Add another element to watch.
I think that would be encouraging for baseball fans to just focus on the umpire. That's it. They don't care about the players or the pitcher. Just the umpire. Did he get it right?
Yeah.
Get him shocked to death.
That's how you do it. It's electroshock therapy.
Yeah.
That's how you punish a bad umpire. If he's calling the wrong thing, you get shot.
I think that's brilliant. We should have that introduced into a boring game of baseball for those who
progressive.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like football players are getting injured all the time. Why not injure some umpires?
Yeah, give them a concussion through electroshock.
And that would actually force or make an umpire take his job seriously. If he's
he's going to study that strike zone, make sure he's calling it right, and also get his eyes checked.
Yeah, he's going to be very aware, cautious this time.
But I think what they could do is, I don't know what happened to those Google glasses, but you could have umpires wear those glasses and it'll have the strike zone thing in it, and it'll show them what it's, it'll light up green if it's a strike and red if it's a ball, and they just call it off of that.
There you go.
Or if you like the human element, keep the umpire without any glasses, but if you think that a ball should have been a strike or the other way around, then you have the manager or the pitcher challenge it, and you just say, okay, no, and instantly they can check.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, actually, it is a strike.
There you go.
That way you keep the human element, but you can challenge certain calls.
Mm-hmm.
Like a big 3-2 pitch, if they call the wrong thing, then you challenge that call. That way you're not changing the entire game.
Right. So
something like
that makes sense. A bit of a hybrid approach. So only in dire situations, 3-2 calls.
Yeah.
It's have a backup plan, make sure to be consistent throughout the game. We don't want, one time the pitcher says the same pitch as a ball, then another time it's a strike, especially when it's a 3-2 count. Yeah.
Right. Because you'll see these umpires, they call something consistently. It's in that location. It's a strike. And then the next pitch or the other team throws the same pitch and it's not a strike.
Yeah.
And that's where they could challenge and say, okay, well, I want that call.
That can frazzle a pitcher's pineal gland. They'll be very distraught. Like, what? That was a strike last 2 batters ago.
That really gets under Bumgarner's skin.
Yeah.
Like you'll see he'll stare at the umpire when he doesn't get a call.
And if that happens, then you have the robot iPad things stimulate the umpire's brain, shocks his brain, and then it'll calm him down. Any other closing comments about Umpbots?
No, I think we covered it. I don't know if it's going to come around anytime soon, but I think in the next 5 years, we'll start to see some type of system be put in place where you can at least challenge the calls.
Yeah, that makes sense. And that I just remembered the challenging calls with the New York umpires. Hey. That's another mystery.
It's been really bad to start the season.
Yeah.
They're taking a long time, and they're not overturning calls that should be overturned. I don't know why they're so off to start the season.
Why are they in New York, too? Is it a headquarters?
Yeah, that's where the league offices are, and they just want... I don't know. I mean, I would think it'd be easier just to have an umpire... Like a video umpire at the
game, right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I guess it's cheaper to just have one video umpiring crew in one location.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, all these West Coast games, like we were watching that Padres game on Monday night. That game took forever. It was 10:30 Pacific time, and it's 1:30 in New York. Those umpires are falling asleep, probably, and that's why they're missing these calls.
10 minutes, the guy's sleeping on the job.
Hey, wake up! You gotta challenge.
The phone's ringing.
That's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for the guy to wake up and pick up the phone.
And they gotta turn on the computer, the game, and everything, the equipment. It takes 5 minutes to load. Jesus Christ! Hold on.
And they're just like, I can't get it open. Just go with the call in the field.
Yeah, I got to put my contacts on.
It wasn't a trap.
That's what's going on behind the scenes.
There you go. We figured it out.
Yeah.
They need cold brew in New York.
Cold brew to keep you wired all night. Watch the whole game for 4 hours.
Yeah.
All right. That's good stuff analysis. Figured it out.
Tired umpires. That's the problem.
Sleeping on the job.
Eating donuts.
Cronuts. Okay, so we could do the Carly Fiorina, Fiorina, or the
Fettuccine?
or the Bill Nye. Think the Bill Nye might take a while.
Yeah, we might want to talk about that with Steven.
Yeah, and then we could
Stivocrates,
of course. And then we could do the simulation thing next week.
It's a hot topic.
It is.
It's not. It's like something that will become untimely. Yeah. So.
Okay, good. So, sorry, announcer or listeners, I did make an announcement about talking about the universe possibly being a simulation. We'll talk about it next week or in 2 weeks.
Yeah, don't worry. You're just a simulation. Yeah. You can wait.
Yeah, you can wait. Don't worry.
Someone can program you to wait.
And if it is a program, it might be an infinite loop. Maybe in another lifetime, you'll come at this episode and hear it. The algorithm will keep running. Let's do the
politics.
The politics. We need politics. So what's going on with the world of politics? Update our audience about the primary elections
Since Heideco is probably wondering what the status of the elections, the primaries are. In the Democratic race, it's pretty much, I mean, we knew it was over before it even started, right?
Yeah.
Clinton was going to win. Clinton has 2,165 delegates.
Woo!
And you need 2,383 to win the nomination. So she's like she only needs like 200 more.
Do you think she'll nominate Sanders as a vice president?
That's basically the reason. Sorry. Maybe.
Well, that's DeGrace's opinion.
I think she should have Neil deGrasse Tyson be the vice president.
Yeah.
That's basically the reason. Sorry. Maybe.
She can bark and he can laugh.
There you go, barking dogs. The barking dog duos.
Yeah. So pretty much, I think Bernie Sanders actually laid off a lot of his, staff because he knows it's pretty much over.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he gave it a good run.
Yeah, he got donations from, he was able to take the money out of young millennials. $27 minimum.
Yeah, I mean, they only have thousands and thousands of dollars of student debt to pay, but...
Oh, man.
They tried.
So it's all over.
She has 520 super delegates, and Bernie Sanders has 39.
That's depressing.
Please clap.
All right, and then on the Republican side, we have fully simulated robot Ted Cruz. And then,
he's in second place. Trump has 996. Cruz at 565. And I don't know what this Kasich...
That guy, what is he doing still? I don't get it. It's mathematically impossible for him to win.
153 delegates. Like, just please clap. Just please leave.
That's it.
But yeah, you need 1,237 delegates to win the nomination. So Trump is only about 300 away.
Wow. I don't know how to respond to that. That's shocking.
Well, I don't know, we really talked about that, but I think it could, even if he wins the most delegates, they could still somehow dispute the nomination or something like that during the convention.
Like what do you call a rebellion?
Yeah. Right. Like
we don't want that orange-faced guy to become our president.
So all the delegates would vote differently or not vote for him or something and have a contested vote. So you have to have a second vote. And so there could still be a chance that Ted Cruz could pull out a win in the second vote.
But I want to ask about this.
That would be great if Noam Chomsky interjected during the convention and exercised his Sith Lord powers.
Is he a Republican?
No, he's an anarchist.
No, the Anarchy Party.
Yeah, the Anarchy Party. He's neither Republican or Democratic.
Who's the lead nominee for that party?
Do they even have one?
No.
A leader of the Anarchy Party?
The Anarchy Party.
Is that an ISIS member?
We need to create that party.
It's an ISIS member, isn't that?
Some Middle Eastern Arab.
That's bad. It's wrong. All right, so we have Ted Cruz. He nominated Carly Fiorina as vice president.
Makes a whole lot of sense when you're not even the leading choice to be the candidate.
She dropped out months ago. I don't know. She wasn't that popular. I don't understand why he would elect her.
I think he's trying to get a softer side to him.
Ted Cruz seems just as robotic as Rubio. He doesn't really have that human compassion, or I don't know. He doesn't sound like a normal, ordinary human being.
No. Plus, you can get some of the women vote. if you're running against Clinton, you need a female running mate.
And they're both highly religious, so that's going to help them both. I mean, Ted Cruz sounds like a pastor to me. I mean, he should run for Pope at the Vatican.
Oh, he's not Catholic.
Or Catholic, that's right.
He could be what's that guy's name on TV?
An evangelical.
Yeah,
like what's John Olsen? Is that his name? Olsen?
Joel Osteen. He could be a new Joel Osteen.
Yeah,
have his
that's
own
what he should do.
Mass TV show every Sunday night.
Yeah, he would sell billions of dollars in his conventions.
Welcome to my church.
Let us all pray and think about how I'm going to win this election. So what's the Colbert clip?
So yeah, play that Colbert clip. Just pretty much talks about what's going on with Cruz.
Okay, all right.
And I don't know about you, but I'm still reeling from yesterday's big news out of the Cruz campaign. First, that there is still a Ted Cruz campaign. Second, that he named a running mate yesterday. That is bold. After Tuesday's huge wins by Clinton and Trump, Bernie Sanders saw the writing on the wall and laid off hundreds of staffers. Meanwhile, Ted Cruz saw the writing and covered it up with a "hang in there, baby" poster.
Basically the reason. Sorry.
Take a look at his historic moment.
Neil like that
After
one.
a great deal of consideration and prayer,
Pray.
I have come to the conclusion that if I am nominated to be President of the United States,
Sounds like
that
a
I will
robot.
run on a ticket with my vice presidential nominee, Carly Fiorina.
Fiorina.
Yes, Ted Cruz has found a run mate.
Such a robot.
As the former head of Hewlett-Packard, Fiorina is the perfect choice to balance the ticket and save some money on toner. And I gotta say, Ted Cruz has got some serious huevos rancheros to announce a vice president at this stage. It reminds me of one other historic announcement.
This is your captain. Please, everyone, remain calm. I have important news. I've chosen a vice captain. Her name is Pam, and she's going to stay with us to the end.
Titanic.
And Fiorina was clearly honored to accept this important job that will never exist.
I've come to know Ted and Heidi and Caroline and Catherine.
I know two girls that I just adore. I'm so happy I can see them more. 'Cause we travel on the bus all day. We get to play.
Ugh.
We get to play.
Scary.
Wow.
It's
basically the reason. Sorry.
It's like Disney gave the wicked stepmother her own song. I know a girl named Cinderella. I'm gonna lock that girl in the cellar.
Oh, man.
Very disturbing.
That is. I know two little girls. I want to strangle them.
Man, I don't know why these people do this stuff.
I don't
like Hillary Clinton barking, right?
Yeah.
What else weird happened? Jeb Bush with his please clap.
The self-loathing, deprecating life.
Yeah. And then Trump talking about the size of his hands and trying to reenact Ben Carson's murder attempt or whatever.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And now this. It's like a punchline over and over again.
Yeah.
And they set themselves up.
Yeah. What? Yeah, that. Does she think that that's gonna entice the audience somehow by singing creepy songs? I don't know. Or, wouldn't that naturally scare people away?
I would be very disturbed.
How old are his kids?
I think they're like 10 to 12 probably.
Texting them, riding along on the bus and singing creepy songs. She looks like Celine Dion, by the way. Celine Dion. That's why she has her brilliant singing skills.
She gives people hot feet.
Hot feet. Well, that was interesting. I did not know about that.
Yeah, so that's the big political news right now. It's all about Fiorina singing and Ted Cruz not willing to give up.
Yeah. And Trump
holding on to false hope.
And Trump on a roll.
He can do no wrong.
No. People want him, apparently.
The writing is on the wall for the Republican Party.
Yeah. And yet they're outraged. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they allowed this to happen, really.
Yeah.
By not changing the tone of their party over the past 8, 10, 12 years. Mm-hmm. They allowed some freak to take over their party and run with it.
That's the other interesting thing, is how did he even get involved to begin with? Was it all just money, funding?
I'm sure that's the main reason.
Main thing, yeah. Game time.
We have a game.
Well, it would have been more relevant had we talked about DeGrasse. But we could still do it.
Okay. We can sing a song.
Sing a song.
I love my little kids inside.
You want to do the battle?
What's the battle?
ASP stuff! Battle! It's between Neil deGrasse Tyson and Lawrence Krauss.
Oh, okay. I'd pay for that.
You'd pay for that?
I'd pay to see them go at it.
All right, me too. This would be interesting to watch. Now, so we have on the one side Neil deGrasse. Neil does grass. So a description is a dark, portly astrophysicist with powerfully deep and highly destructive vocal cords that can literally rumble and shake the ground underneath your feet. Literally. He can also lull you to sleep with his soothing and calm tone. But he's also very animated when you see him speak with his hands. He's very dexterous. His hands. If you watch the 2-hour debate, his hands come across almost hitting David Chalmers, the philosopher, and he's just kind of like moving away. He does that. If you checked out any video, he's just very animated with his hands. So you have to watch out. He might swipe you inadvertently off your feet with his karate chopping arm movements.
Duck.
Yeah, you have to duck. You have to constantly be on your toes while speaking with DeGrasse, because he hands everywhere.
You don't know where I'm coming. I might hit you in the face. Look out.
So we got that. So he's got his deep rumbling vocal cords, his animated chopping arm movements. And then you got Lawrence Krauss, theoretical physicist, cosmologist, but he has an annoyingly high-pitched whiny voice like Woody Allen, stuttering all the time, stammering,
neurotic,
yeah, and he can literally annoy you to death with his constant complaining and bickering, and he's got terrible jokes on top of that. But you have to be careful of Krauss's deadly cosmic ray eye beams. Merely squinting his feline-like eyes will shoot out high-energy radiation that can obliterate you into stardust. And he's got that neck gel that can strangle you.
Oh, yeah, that's
it. So essentially, the battle is between a cute, cuddly, dark brown bear and a fiercely unfriendly but mainly ferocious feline. So you got a cat and you got a bear.
High, whiny, neurotic cat.
Yeah. And then an apparently cute, cuddly, dark brown, portly bear.
With a soft, soothing voice.
Yeah.
I would probably go with...
Don't forget those cosmic ray eye.
Yeah, that's good.
There's one squint and you're gone.
Kraus is more dangerous, really. I mean, I know DeGrasse or DeGrasse, however everyone says it differently.
Yeah.
I know he's cool and hip and drops the mic.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Got mad rapping skills.
Oh, that's true.
But I think Krause's annoyingness, and he's like unrelenting. He'll just keep prodding you, trying to get at you, nag at you. That will break you down over time. And just constant bludgeoning of his annoying sounds and pointless arguments.
Yeah,
I think that would just beat you down.
Yeah.
I don't think Neil deGrasse Tyson would be able to compete.
It would
his
just
soothing voice would break apart.
Yeah, it would scare away that cub. It would send him out back into the forest.
No,
shut up,
Pluto.
It's like Woody Allen on painkillers. Larry David, Louis C.K. all combined. And you got Lawrence Krauss.
Scientific smarts.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. And he doesn't like vegans.
That's right. He likes his raw meat.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like any other feline creature on the planet.
And he rips apart good movies.
Yeah. What's up with that?
It's terrible. The science was terrible.
We need a clip of Krauss.
Yeah.
Whining, stammering. And then some DeGrasse. So that's my next project. Find clips of each of them.
Going at it. That's what we need is that Arizona State, whatever the thing Krauss hosts, have Tyson go there.
Ah, that's right. The ASU Origins Project.
Yeah.
I'll write him an email. Can you please have DeGrasse, as a guest of your show? Grass seems very open-minded compared to Krauss's constricted views and his bow tie.
Yeah, he would wear a bow tie, where Tyson probably more necktie.
Yeah, necktie.
Maybe it's a racial thing. I don't know. We're getting that's a little controversial, but
so I am gonna lean towards the dark, portly, cute, cuddly brown bear for the battle. Because before he can get Krauss to speak, if he could just begin with like a rumbling, low tone voice, if he just, so the minute they face each other, DeGrasse, his strategy would be to automatically rumble, soothingly rumble with a calm tone, like. See, I already put the audience to sleep.
Sounds like a didgeridoo.
Auto-tone, low rumble voice. Or what do you call it, like a mantra? So if you could put the cat to sleep, then you could prevent whiny, annoying, bickering Krauss to start opening his mouth and whining.
But he's got those laser eyes.
That's true.
Attack him before he even falls asleep.
Just squints because he's constantly squinting his eyes.
Done.
That's it. You're gone. Gone for good.
And then we all have to believe in Krauss's science.
His horrible science. Horrible. It's horrible.
And eat turkeys.
Oh, and then we need Bill Nye, too. Bill Fry.
Well, that's a different battle.
Yeah. Bill Fried.
I think you're gonna need Bill Nye versus Descartes.
There you go. I think those exist. If you don't think, those are interesting questions.
Apparently, Bill Nye does not think.
No.
I think, therefore I am. What if you don't think about it? Do you not exist anymore? You probably still exist.
I can't wait to talk about that in our next episode.
Yep,
just tear them apart.
Heated debate.
Yeah. Ugh, that really bothered me. I should have gotten that damn clip of Fiorina singing. Play it out. So
play us out with that too.
Yeah. Maybe I'll put it at the end.
Catchy.
It is.
You want good music? There you go.
I need to try to
hot artist.
Sync it in with some Celine Dion.
Play that with
instruments.
Purple Rain.
There you go. I might get copyrighted. I might get sued for that.
Yeah.
Damn. To create my own little beat. What was I going to say? Oh, so Cinco de Mayo is coming up. Not that I care.
Yeah, another excuse to get drunk.
It is. So I discovered an old song from ASP when we were young, and we did a weird tune called Paco Wants a Taco on the day of Cinco de Mayo. Do you remember that? I don't know. Vaguely?
I mean, I clearly remember what books are you going to bring, or what homework do you have.
Okay.
But I'm trying to remember this Paco Wants a Taco.
I have
Sounds
that.
a little bit racist.
What? Paco wants a taco. Paco just wants a taco. I'm pretty sure there's no racial slurs in this song.
Okay.
At least I hope there's not.
You don't need to put the little E for explicit if
it's on
iTunes.
Yeah. I don't think there's curse words or racial slurs in it.
Everybody, have your children listen to this episode.
Yeah, have them text Carly Fiorani, because apparently she texts her kids too. We're gonna go on a bus ride tonight, kids. Your favorite aunt is gonna text you tonight.
Even if I were related to her, I wouldn't vote for her.
How in the world is that supposed to make you want to vote for her or Ted? We will get along really well.
That's the creepiest.
I know two girls very well. They sat next to me on the bus. I can't wait to meet them again.
Don't worry about packing your stuff overnight. You won't be going back home.
Yeah! Woohoo! I don't want my kids anymore.
Sucking in soot.
Not much going on with Obama.
Nah, he's lame duck.
Gone.
Lame duck for the next
6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
The only thing that he could do, if he gets some type of approval, I think, is nominate a new Supreme Court justice.
Oh, there you go.
That's about the only thing he can do at this point. But that would have a lasting legacy.
Yeah.
Because that justice would stay on for years, decades.
Decades until he mysteriously disappears.
Or Obama is waiting for his presidency to end and then he can become a Supreme Court justice.
That'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Should have one there.
But the next president, if it's Clinton, then yeah, he could get in. If it's Trump, there's no way.
I wonder, yeah, Trump will probably hire his son or his daughter. Oh, his creepy relationship with the daughter.
Yeah. He probably has a song about his daughter.
Yeah. She's very attractive, by the way. My daughter.
Really? You would date your daughter? Okay.
I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
I'll vote for you.
If I weren't her father, probably. And he keeps getting votes.
This is politics.
I almost forgot. So I don't know if I should break up our podcast series in seasons, like season 1, season 2. But if I were to do that, season 1 will come to an end on episode 24.
And why is that?
Because I was inspired by 24, the TV series.
Oh, okay.
So
we're not like doing it 1 hour each day, right?
No, that's true. It's probably more than 24 hours. But you can listen to an entire season of ASP Stuff Radio in a whole day. 8 a.m. until the next day.
You might die.
You might die of all this stuff.
Sucking in stuff.
Sucking in stuff. It's a good title.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah, you could do it that way.
Yeah, 24 hours of non-stop stuff. So we'll be heading out, moving on with the second season.
Is there going to be a different format for season 2?
I was thinking about that, trying to think of a new way of conducting the show. So if you, Steve Ocrates, or Heideko, our only listener, have any brilliant ideas on how we can change or modify our show or format, send us your thoughts. And
send in your suggestions, your feedback.
At ASP
Indonesia, we're looking at you.
Yeah.
And what is it, Brazil?
Brazil, that's right. We had a Brazilian listener. I forget their name.
Paco?
Paco, if you're out there, send us a request or an idea of how to change or modify our format. ASPstuffradio@gmail.com or Twitter. Oh, and don't forget to vote. Neil deGrasse or Lawrence Krauss. Who will win in a stuff battle? You must vote on Twitter and our webpage, ASPstuffradio.com. All right. Any final concluding remarks or inarticulate noises you'd like to make?
No, just everybody watch your children.
Yeah. Stay away from Carly.
Ted Cruz and Carly coming after you.
Yeah.
So just lock your doors and stay away from them.
Okay. Good advice.
And don't get wasted on Cinco de Mayo.
Or orange chicken.
But do get wasted on May the 4th.
What's on May the 4th, should I know?
That's the Star Wars holiday.
Is it really? May the 4th. What is wrong with me?
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you too.
So do a binge watching of Star Wars.
There we go. I'll probably watch the Force Awakens again.
Yeah, see if you can figure out who's the father of what's her name.
I don't know her name.
I don't remember her name.
Not a memorable character in the Star Wars legacy.
Juno? What was her name?
Yeah, Juno. That's what it was.
Was it Juno?
Yeah. Why not? Juno.
Wet Noodle. Who's his dad? Is it really Harrison Ford on Solo, or is it someone else?
I think it was Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt. He had a intergalactic marriage. Inter-alien.
Interspecies. Yeah. He seemed to have taken on more of the human genes.
Yeah. Except his poop.
But his
excrement.
Slimy.
Yeah, his excrement was extra slimy and a bit enormous.
He's very wet noodly because of it.
Yeah. That's the sound of his excrement. That Jabba the Hutt excrement sound.
And on that note...
with all that Jabba juice... Is it Jabba or Jebba? Or Jeb? Jeb the Hutt?
Jabba the Hutt.
Jabba the Hutt. All right.
That would be his nickname.
Yeah.
Please clap.
What a poor sap. I really miss that sap face.
Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah. Everyone, please clap. Please clap. With all that slime in my ear canal, this is ASP Stuff Radio. We are all stuffed up.
Please clap.
Catherine.
I know two girls that I just adore. I know two girls that I just adore. I know two girls that I just adore. I know two girls that I just adore.
Please clap.
Please
Fact or fiction? Fetuses can masturbate. Fiction. Fact!